Blog Talk Radio.
Some people have seen where God has brought you from. You don't really understand it. They don't know your story. The things that I've come through. You cannot imagine. Pain, the trials I've had to endure. You don't know my story. You don't know the day I was at my lowest. You cannot imagine. The strongholds and the walls that but God has been faithful to me. He promised he would never leave me. My story proves that God can do deliverance is my passion. You don't know my story. It would blow your mind. That's the key. They don't know my story. Say it, LeJune. You don't know my story. The anguish and the guilt that consume me. Grateful I can tell it. For no more shall the shackles condemn me. You don't know my story. You just don't know. For if you did, you would lift up your hand. So just let me tell you. By faith you may as well break out and dance. I love this about God because even though I'm not perfect, He would never leave my story proves that God can do in my deliverance. What I want to share is my testimony. You don't know. Somebody needs to know my story. It would blow your mind. Can I get a witness? You don't know my story. It is through my testimony that I overcome. And the blood you shed delivered us. I've been delivered. I've been set free. Now I have a testimony. God's favor. Oh, love. That's right. Say it, LeJune. God, you never leave me. He won't forsake me. You don't know. You don't know. Listen. I want you to know that. Life and favor. Thank you for bringing me out. You think you know, but let me tell it. Life and favor upon me. God, thank you for your mercy. God of mercy. And you love me. Life and favor upon me. Oh, how wondrous. God is my story. Life and favor upon me. You wouldn't believe my real testimony. Can't imagine.
My story.
Yes.
My story. This is Yondin Aries on The Truth Is. Our subject tonight is my story. What's your story? How did your family affect your whole ability to be you, or how did you affect your whole family to be them? Let's talk about your story.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
We're going to open up the phone lines, and we're going to let Aries say her piece now. Go ahead, Aries.
Welcome, everyone, to The Truth Is. As Yonder said, this is Yonder and Aries. Today is Thursday, September the 20th, 2012, and this is The Truth Is. As Yonder said, what is your story? What makes you you?
And what hurts are you still holding on to about your story? Is it time to release your story?
Life in favor. Have you ever seen someone or you know someone that you may think she may have, I'm going to say she may have a bad attitude. She may, in your eyes, may be doing things that aren't right in your eyes. She just doesn't seem to have it together. This chick has issues. What is her story? See, you don't know that. You don't know what she's been through. You don't know what he's been through. You don't know what cards have actually been dealt to this person. What's your story?
And with that said, it's like we take on other people's story at times too. Some folks are just sitting there. They're glutton for punishment. They stay where they don't need to stay, not just in family relationships, but in personal relationships, from marriages to divorces to kids. What is your story? Let's talk about your story. Why are you still there? Why haven't you left? Why haven't you done something different? Okay, you're 40 now. You're 50 now. You're 60. Why are you still holding on to what happened when you were 5?
Man, and we are dressed for this. If y'all could see this studio tonight here in Baltimore, Maryland, where we're broadcasting live, it's laid back, the lights are dimmed. It's like a kumbaya moment. You know, I'm ready for this one. This is going to touch a lot of people tonight, Yonder. Going to touch a lot of people. If you want to join into the conversation, of course you can listen live. You can connect with us on Skype. You can also dial 646-915-9923. We would be we would appreciate it so much if you would join into this conversation. If you have guidance for those that are going through things, join the conversation tonight. This is Truth Is with Yonder and Aries.
And even with this political season, what's your story about voting? What's your story about not voting? Why aren't you at the polls? Why aren't you going to do this? Why aren't you going to do that with the poll? Why haven't you never registered?
Let's start from the top. Well, let's start from the top. Women, issues. Well, I don't even know where to start with this. Men, issues. Men not knowing how to be fathers. Is that what is your backstory? Is it because you had no father figure to show you how to be a father? There was no true man in your life to show you how to do those things that we say men should know how to do. Or your mama. There was no mama in the house. There was no one to show you how to cook, clean, take care of your kids, how to, make life work to keep your family together. Is there a backstory to that? Was there no mother figure? Was there no father figure? Are you just living life the best that you can, however others see it as you being a mess up, being a screw up to society? No. They don't know your story. And it's up to us as brothers and sisters and individuals to try to help each other, create and write a new story for our generations to come.
And women and men, for both, stop blaming that man. Women, stop blaming that man for what your father didn't do or what he did do. Men, stop blaming that woman because she's not like your mother.
Ooh. Do you think, Yonder, at times that men do, harbor issues that they have with their mother? Where do I want to go with this? Domestic violence. Okay, do you think that, much of the domestic violence that happens with the, battered women and the men acting out, do you think that has a lot to do with their mothers not being in their lives, or do you think it's just them not having that proper mother figure? What are your thoughts? I know there are mental issues, but where do you think they stem from?
I think it's both of them, because one of the biggest things is, like you said, and then with some generations, with some women, some men, their mothers never let them go, so they expect this unconditional. Of course, you want unconditional love, but they expect this foolish lady, this foolish person, to be their wife or their girlfriend.
What do you mean foolish? Do you mean that woman that he wants for her to answer at his every beck and call?
Yes, he wants this woman to be his mama, basically. To always come back to her and never do what she's supposed to do. I call it the child syndrome.
Wow. Callers, if you want to join the conversation, the number is 646-915-9923. So, when we talk about that, in most cases, do you feel that guy, that man, he grew up or came from a single parent situation, or do you feel like the father was absent? What are your thoughts on that? Let's talk about this.
He came from a single parent, and let me come from a personal aspect. I try to do stuff not in general. I try to talk from what I know, what I don't know. I try not to talk about. Well, from my own personal experience, I had both for years, but not as much. I mean, my mother, I was born with my mother and father, but my mother played a more dominant role, and it's not because my father just decided that he wanted to be somewhere else at other times. And one of the biggest things was, as I got older, I realized who he really was. I didn't understand who he was younger. He only taught me what he knew because he never had a father himself. So he only could teach as far as he could go, and I wanted so much more, needed so much more.
And at what age were you when you realized, that he was not giving you what you needed? Was this something? I'm sorry. Let me let you answer that question first before I go into my next.
Okay. At what age did I? Can you repeat the question, please?
What age? It's like I'm interviewing you. This is the truth is with Yonder Aries and what Aries is interviewing Yonder right now. But anyway, no. Let's get back to the serious conversation. At what age was it that you realized that your father was not that father figure that you wanted or needed in your life?
As you get older, you realize that there were so many things that you actually missed. As a child and as a young adult, you think, I know it all. But as you get older, when I say older, past 25, you be like, man, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. If he had been here to do this, I could learn. It was just so many pieces of, he left at the most crucial time, which was the teenage years, when I really needed that real foundation. I mean, I had the foundation, of course, but when I needed that cement, let me put it that way, I already had the foundation. When I needed that cement to build the house, to put the next room to it, that's when the relationship collapsed with him and my mother.
Okay, but do you think that, what type of background did he have with his father, with his
family?
Family?
And that was the biggest part about it, because as I got older, he only taught me what he knew. He couldn't teach what he didn't know.
Okay.
But as a child, you don't understand this. You just need to know that you need to teach me this other piece of this.
Now, being that, and you explaining to us, the listeners here at The Truth Is with Yonder and Aries, that dial-in number being 646-915-9923. With that being said, how did that write your story? How did Yonder's story, how did this bring you to the man that you are today?
Well, it did, but it did in its own way. It was more of soul searching than anything. I mean, because as you not knowing what you know, I mean, and it becomes part of self-esteem, but it becomes more of soul search because you're trying to find you now, and you should have had you by the time you get to be 20-something.
Okay, let's go deeper, as you say, and you always put people on the spot. Let's go deeper. I know you, those out there in Radio Land. I know Yonder personally. As Yonder has mentioned on this show before, he is a father and a wonderful husband. Yonder, you got it from somewhere. I mean, if it wasn't your father, do you feel that it was something that was within you? Because you're a wonderful father. And you're saying...
I'm sorry. I feel that I mean, really, and this is one of the biggest things that I feel that parents, that mothers do. And in mothers, as a natural, is the love. I mean, I felt that she overcompensated as much as she could. And
your mom, you're speaking of your mom, yeah.
Okay. And there were more lessons that were being taught, and more than love that was given up. She overcompensated because she was more of a teacher than anything else. She was not too busy, but in a good way, she was teaching, saying, okay, this is what you need to do. And as of this day, she's no longer here, all the time, she was real rough on me. I mean, I was like, man, I'm doing right. I'm trying to do this. I'm doing that. She rode my back. I mean, sat on my back up to the day she died.
Okay, and you actually are, I don't know if you're realizing it or not, or if you're listening to what you're saying or what you've said in the past, but we are kind of saying that the statement, so many times we hear people say that a woman can't raise a man, which we do know. Everybody needs that mother and father figure in her life, but she actually did raise a man, and she did instill in you the qualities of like a good man. So women, single parents out there, single moms, it is possible. It is. And you're only one person that I know. I know plenty of women that are doing this on their own because, the fathers will not, or in some cases they cannot step up. I'm not beating no one down, but in some cases they cannot be around. But you actually proven that, with hard work, and like you said, she was hard on you, she did teach you how to be a good person. So that's the thing.
Without a doubt, but I feel that for some reason society has been pushing that, that a single woman should be able to do this. Not that she didn't do it, but it was the roughest task she's ever had in life. It was one that she brought on herself, I mean, of course, you get in a relationship. But I feel that there are too many younger folks out there saying, okay, well, you made it, and I should be okay, too. It had to be the hardest task of her life. I mean, really.
It had
and mind you, I'm not the only male that she had. I have a brother, too, and I had 4 sisters. So it was just a whole different place.
And I actually feel that, I know, men need men in their homes to show them how to be a man, but I really believe it's the daughters, it's the young women, it's the girls out here. I believe in more cases than none that they need more of that male guidance more so than that son does, because in so many areas we look at it where these young girls are out there, they're looking for that father figure. If they grew up in a single parent home, they're easily attaching themselves to men because they're missing that other half, that fatherly love, that daddy.
That's so true. That is so. I agree with you wholeheartedly because, like you said, with missing, and the sad part about missing, you don't know you missing it till it's time, till it at the wrong time in life.
And some of the things that it leads to, like you said overcompensating. Your mother, and even some cases we have friends, we have families, we have coworkers, we have people that overcompensate. And that could be in different forms. It can be being a workaholic, buying that child everything that they feel that child wants and needs because they're trying to do double duties, of 2 parents, being that single parent. We have those overachievers. And when we look at the end result or the product of these, let's say, broken relationships or broken homes, I don't want to call it a broken home because I don't consider my home a broken home, but we look at these homes where the single-parent home where either the mother or father is not in that person's life. We look at children that are, how does it affect our obesity rate? Our low self-esteem,
promiscuous. I mean, I was very promiscuous at that time.
Promiscuous, yes.
You find stuff and other stuff. I mean, you really find. I mean, really down to acting sexually too early to drinking and smoking. I mean, you find other things to compensate in your own mind because you feel like you're missing something on the other side. And most folks won't say, I just did this because I had fun. Yeah, everybody drank and smoked because they had fun. That ain't why you drank and smoked. You drank and smoked most times because you compensated for something else. That's how it started, and then you had to end up getting addicted.
See, and that's where us as brothers and sisters to one another, I mean, when you notice those signs, what do you do? Because I know, and I've been in a situation myself or situations where growing up, mine was more of rebellion. And I can say I was fortunate. I had a mother and father. Not saying that a mother and father in a house is fortunate, but because you can have a mother and father that live in a house together and it's not a healthy relationship. But I can say that I had a good upbringing. However, I had friends that I hung with or whatever where I thought, they lived a life and they had it all. It wasn't until I got older and had a child of my own that I realized, I grew up in a good home. I mean, I didn't realize it until I was younger, but, what do we do as a community when we see these people going down the wrong paths? I mean, it could be a teenager. It could be a grown adult. It could be your coworker where, we have some people that are addicted to the Internet. They're addicted to dating online, and, that's because they're looking for that person, that man, that woman, or whatever to
love
share their time. Yes, exactly. Thank you for summing it up, because I can ramble on forever.
Yeah, but you're right. Love in all the wrong places.
In all the wrong places. What do we do? I mean, I know we're not head doctors, we're not psychologists, we have no PhDs, no MDs behind our names, but as people with hearts, people that care for one another, what can we do as a community to help uplift so, our future doesn't go down the drain with, the promiscuity, with, as financial. Some of this leads to financial issues as well, where you're, overspending and, like we said, competing.
Indulging in everything. And hurt people. People who have been hurt or feel like they've been done wrong, they are the biggest hurters. I mean, I think about just as younger in life. I mean, really, just dealing with certain folks. I mean, hurt people. I was a hurt person, so I did a whole lot of hurt too. I mean, really, hurt people who hurt other folks, and they do it constantly. And they do it unintentionally.
I have a question for you. When did you and how did you get over your hurt? Of missing that father figure that you wanted.
I think I'm not gonna say I didn't get over. I think I'm still in the process. I think healing is a lifelong thing. I mean, when most people say get over tomorrow, I think it's a lifelong thing, and it's lessons learned. One of the biggest things of her is forgiveness. I forgave him. Actually, the sad part about it, I didn't forgive him for. Let me see.
I remember you saying this on one of the past shows.
I didn't forgive him until I wrote my first book, which was almost 10 years ago. And he's been dead, like 23 years now, but I didn't forgive him. And as I did my thank yous, I forgave him that day. And it was the biggest release off my back. And I just forgave him for who he wasn't. But I realized.
But is that really fair? Is that really fair for forgiving him, for holding anger against someone that did not know any better? We say it all the time. Oh, they don't know.
But let me say, I forgave him for who he wasn't, but I thanked him for who he was.
Okay.
I mean, because it was both sides of it. Yeah, he didn't give me this, but man, if he hadn't put this down, I would be so much worse than I thought I was at the time. And then it's all about, I would say, not even ego, but it's all about what you decide to be in life. I mean, and of course you got to have a higher power. I don't care if you with God.
And did you find that you were spiritual?
Did I find? I didn't actually. That's one of the funny things. Me and my wife talk about this all the time. As much as I fought how he raised me, I was in church every Sunday.
But were you
no matter what he did, no matter what he did.
In Radio Land, everyone listening in Radio Land, here online, this is The Truth Is with Yonder and Aries. It's about 10 minutes to the top of the hour. Our dial-in number is 646-915-9923. Join our discussion tonight. We're talking about, life story, Life in Favor. That was the opening song. You don't know my story. I don't know yours. But our story was made up of factors and things that happened in our past that made us who we are today. So share your story. Share how, maybe your past, as Yonder is speaking, about his father not being who he really wanted him to be, how that kind of made him into the man that he is today. And I'm sure your wife and your kids and even you appreciate who you are today, don't you? You appreciate him.
And it really, like I said, even though I thought he wasn't, like I said, what I needed to be, but no matter who he was, like I said, every Sunday, he made sure I went to church. And to this day, as we talk every Sunday, you know what I do. No matter where we at, what we doing, I mean, I'm like, I got to go to church no matter how hard we party Saturday night. I be like, look, I got to go home, y'all, because I know
mine is totally different. I told you I grew up.
Sunday. And it makes my family, my son knows nothing but on Sundays. If we ain't going to church, he thinks something wrong. Something going on. Why we not going to church? What's going on?
So do you
But it kept me to that place right there, and I didn't realize how much of a foundation that really was because, as a child, you used to go to church because he told to go to church. But as an adult, it's what I do, and I'm in there and very involved and things of that nature. So it just
This
like,
is so
cool.
funny you brought this up about church and kids and how you went to church and how your son looks forward to church. So you feel at any age the church can hit you at any age, that spirit, that Holy Spirit, can hit you at any age.
It did because, as a child, you going to church, playing church. You going to church, you told to go to church. That's about it. But as an adult, it's like, okay, if I'm not in there on Sunday, I'm like, I just don't feel good. Life ain't good. Life ain't good.
It's not good. So, yeah, that higher power can make a whole lot of difference. I had a 10-year-old about a week ago put the higher power on me. I had to look at her and say, where you get that from? But it's church. Like you said, it's church and, being involved. So, what do we do? Back to our original topic for tonight. You don't know my story. So, what do we do when we see that person and we're like, oh, this chick got some issues? What should we do? I mean, I know how I look at people now. Instead of saying this person has issues, it's how can I help this person with these issues? And I know for sure people are saying the same about me. But, I think it's more of, I guess we need to become a more compassionate group of people, to look out for one another, to uplift. I mean, I don't know.
But I agree with you totally, because that's one of the biggest things. Originally, when we decided to do the subject tonight, I had one thought on my mind, but I talked to a good friend of mine, just looking out for, just sitting here in Texas today, and I knew his sister had cancer. And when he texted me back today, he said he was just dealing with her passing. And I was just like, whoa. We get on here talking about our family, mad at our family, this, that, and the family. But I know his sister had been dealing with cancer a while. Last time I talked to him, he said, she was I don't know if this was a second or third bout of it. I think this was actually a third bout of having it. And she was younger. When I say younger, she was under 40. And when he told me that.
Are you serious?
Yes, when he told me that. And I like to just shout him out, my man Lonnie. And I was just looking at the article of his. He was on my heart. And when he sent me that text, he said, man, we're just dealing with, because my sister, we buried my sister. And I was just like, oh, man. And we get mad at society, get mad at ourselves, get mad at this. But, man, I'm just happy to be here. Like I said, no matter what I went through before, I'm happy to be here.
And you never know what a person's going through. So before we're judgmental people. Although we don't judge. We're totally judgmental people, and we will say, what's up with that chick? Before you say what's up with that chick, believe me, you never know what a person's going through. You never, ever, ever know. I was reading a story here online before the show started, and it was about this individual woman who actually, she was an online stalker. As far as, but not in the way that you may think when I say that. This person was a random dater online, and what she would do is she would go out and actually, seek dates with people, and her self-esteem was low for whatever reason. I don't know. I'm saying it was her self-esteem, and it may have been a physical thing, but she was actually, connecting with men, meeting them, looking for that love, looking for that relationship, as we said earlier in the show, looking for that one thing, I guess, that she never had, that father, that love, from a man. And when things didn't work out for her, she would just totally flip out. She would actually stalk. She would cause issues in the person's life or whatever, and I'm like,
great.
What do we do about situations like that? If we know someone that's going through something like that, how can we tell them, you're beautiful? I know everyone is, hooked, so hung up on, that what do you call it? Not materially, but so what's the word, Yonder?
Everybody's vanity, everybody.
Everyone feels superficial.
Right, superficial.
What about their looks? Whatever. My thing is, beauty is skin deep.
It really is.
It's from within. So you could look like physically from the bottom of somebody's shoe, whatever, as we speak, but it's about how you care about yourself within. And until you really care and love yourself within, you're not going to be free. You're not going to be in love with anyone else. You're not, until you care for yourself within, you're not going to be able to fully love your kids.
Right. Nice people.
Really?
I agree with you. There are so many. When you grew up there, you met a whole lot of nice people. As you get adult, it's like, and especially from catching the subway and things of that nature, folks aren't nice like they used to be. It's just like everybody's mad and everything's a rush.
Mhm.
Everything's a rush, and everybody's on stuff like, nothing against Facebook and all the things like that personally, but we have gotten so used to not talking to people or talking to people with sideways languages from the Texas and everything that we really don't take time to get to know people anymore.
Yeah, and it's rushed, and you can't rush a relationship. You can't rush things like that. And that's one segment I would love to do one night is to talk about online dating and, the random daters and stuff like that, because that's a booming business. We all know it. We actually are working on setting up our own dating website. The truth is, but it's a booming business because in some cases it can work out for some, but it can actually lead others down the wrong road. And, it's sad. It has become. It's sad. It's truly sad because I was reading this woman's story and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's something really going on with her that's deep, and she needs to get over it because someone's gonna get hurt. Well, actually, they ended up arresting her for filing false statements or whatever, but they ended up arresting her. But it could have gotten worse than that.
Oh, that's crazy. And like you said, and that's another form of hurt people. Hurting people, and until they get over, like I said, I don't know. You don't know my story, and like I said, I don't know her story. But we're reading about her story right now, but we don't know, the past of everything of what brought her to this place. But if she's a listener in whatever 9-block cell she's in, I just hope that you find peace with yourself within, because it's truly not worth it. Not worth it. We have so many people that try to cause harm to others and cause disruption in others' lives because they're not happy. And you can go down to this presidential election.
Wow.
There's different things saying from the Romney camp about everything. They talking about everything from Obama's mama to the dog that he had when he was little.
And
it's just like they just want to hurt.
Up.
And then his disparaging remarks about minorities and Hispanics, and he wish he was Mexican, he wish he was Latino. He called them everything out of their name. I'm just like, for real?
This has been the most disrespected president that I've ever heard of, ever read. When you read our history books or whatever, I don't think there's ever been a president that's been disrespected as much as our President Obama.
Yes, and like I said, even by not even calling him the president, they just say Obama. His name is the president.
But we have to, before we, call people out for doing that, we need to practice that ourselves.
Yes.
We really need to practice that ourselves. I hear, other radio hosts, I hear the commentators on the television, Obama, President Obama. President Obama. And it's funny that you brought that up because you had mentioned that you had read The Audacity of Hope, and I had actually pulled the book off of the shelf here tonight when we're, because I knew we were talking about You Don't Know My Story. That's a good book to read, listeners. If you're looking for a good read or whatever. It tells you a lot about him. But yeah, that's something else. So we're going to get into politics here in a couple of weeks too, where we need to get some political junkies online to debate back and forth with us. Because like I said, although I love myself some President Obama, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm independent because, we live here in the United States. We have the option to choose. And just because I agree with someone on many of the issues and I'm for a person does not mean that I agree with them on all other issues. So, that's something that I'd like to get into heavily, the closer we get to, this election that's coming up.
And you said about President Obama's book. Another book that I suggest folks read is a book by what's the guy's name? I just got it today. I had it for years, but it's called Becoming Dad. Before the show is over, I'll tell you Becoming Dad. It's by Hart. I can tell you. Give me a second. But great book. It's by Leonard Potts. Great book from a great man. Really, it was just all the insight of what took him to become a man. He was from a single-family household. His father left, and he just goes into how it made him become who he became, and even down to not knowing how to tie a necktie. It was just a deep book. I think it was part of my healing process.
Really,
mm-hmm.
Really. And that's interesting. I need someone to write a book on how to date as a single parent. That's what I need someone to do because I need some guidance. Questions. This is you're laughing, but general questions. How soon do you introduce your child to the person you're dating?
Never. No. Well, let me tell you the name of the book real quick. It's called Becoming Dad. It's by Leonard Pitts Jr. You can find it on Amazon on his website, but it's called Becoming Dad by Leonard Pitts Jr. Just want to shout that out. But back to what you were saying, Eric. She said, "How soon do you introduce a man to your child?"
That's a topic there too. Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that's no. I mean, you date him. Your child ain't got to date him right now.
And I hear so many different, mixed. Everyone has different mixed opinions. You know mine. I was dating somebody for 30 years, and my child would
and I agree with that. I mean, because you're dating him, she's not dating him until you feel.
But what happens if you're dating this person? though? You're dating this person for it's been turned into 18 months, and you're about to okay, this could be possibly someone that I can marry. We're talking about marriage and stuff. Then he meets the little one, and it ain't working. What do? It ain't working. And I'm going to choose my baby over the man, but it just ain't working. Then I done lost 18 months of my life, right?
Right. Yeah,
right?
that is I mean, really, I would like to do that subject with a whole lot of you single mamas.
We need single daddies because
single daddies, because I think that would be, that'd be our best show ever. I mean, because really, it's so deep into where you're going and what you want, and then it becomes even deeper because you have the part of your children decide how they do, whether they're going to be single parents or not, and they decide, hey,
back up. What did you say? The kid will decide what if they're going to be a single parent or not? Say that again.
They really do. You wouldn't believe how much stuff our kids. My son always telling me stuff that I did that I ain't realized I did, and he'll say, "You did that, Daddy. That's why I want to do it." And I was like, "I did what?" And he'll say something, and I be sitting there like, "Dad, I did." Whether it's good or bad or indifferent, he sees everything that I do, and whether it's good or bad, he wants to do it.
So
even down to wearing a necktie every day. If I don't, he wants to wear a necktie. Everything.
I wouldn't say that would make, because Aries is a single parent, but I don't see me being a single parent would have a effect on whether or not my child would. Then again, I don't know, because if it was a struggle and she sees a struggle, she probably would say, I don't want to struggle like my mother does by herself. I want to make this happen, with someone else.
But it shaped mine from being by seeing my own parents. I was like, oh, no, I ain't having no kids until I found Miss Right.
Oh, I said I was ever having kids. When the doctor said you're pregnant, I said never, ever. That test result is wrong. But no, but I don't know.
Well, like I said, but it shaped mine. I was like, nah, I can't see the struggle going on without. And then I started having friends who were having kids. Whole lot of my friends had kids by girls they really didn't like. They just had sex with them. So I was like, oh, this is crazy. I ain't doing that.
Then they were being promiscuous.
Then they couldn't see the kids because they were, having issues with them. So I was like, nah, this is crazy. I can't do this.
What was that? I see someone's trying to chime in with us. This is The Truth Is with Yonder and Aries. Our dial-in number is 646-915-9923. Callers, if you would like to join into the conversation, please dial. Again, our number is, and I just lost our number here real fast. Our number is 646-915-9923. Go on, Yonder. I'm sorry to interrupt. What were you saying?
Someone's online?
I thought someone wanted to join into the conversation. This is The Truth Is with Yonder and Aries. Would you like to join into the conversation? Area code 404? Okay. No, yeah, we have some people out here listening, but, I guess the show tonight isn't as, I don't know, what is the word? As I say every week, we have people listening, but no one wants to join.
Well, I think it's real. Like I said, I think this goes deep into the soul of folks because these are the issues that folks really don't want to talk about. This is what I will call actually taboo.
Taboo, really?
This would really be taboo. Think about it. No one talks about how they grew up. No one talks about.
I'm obese. I have a low self-esteem.
Yeah, no one talks about their brokenness. Think about it. No one talks about their brokenness. No one talks about.
Because my daddy wasn't there, so I'm at McDonald's eating all the cheeseburgers because daddy wasn't there. Are you serious?
But think about it. No one talks about their brokenness. No one talks about this is why I got to go to school, get all this education. I got 10 degrees, and I still don't love myself.
You're still not happy. That's what I said. You have to love yourself. And however you may do it. But this is what I would advise. Find that passion that you love. I mean, my number one passion, of course, is my child. But, two, my passion is travel. I love to travel. As a matter of fact, we have a cruise coming up April the 12th through the 15th. Contact TVF Travel at 240-621-0417 to get more information about the cruise. But back to the story. As if you read What I Do Is Taboo, books 1, 2, 3, and 4, back to the story. As you
right.
There, right? Back to the story. Well, anyway, back to the story. I love travel. That's my passion. So whatever's going on, whenever I feel like something's overwhelming or I just want to escape, I start looking up stuff on travel. I mean, you have to find that passion. You know, I get into travel. I help sell travel. I'm getting my daughter involved into travel. So, you know, you have to find that passion to something that's going to help you like who you are. You have to like who you are. If you don't like who you are, who else is going to like you?
Right, and like you said, that's the passion, and folks don't understand by doing that and not doing it. By not having a passion, you just going around in circles. I mean, really, people work every day, just work jobs. But by not having a passion, you're just going around in circles. You're just going around in life in circles. Like, what am I going to do?
Some people just work to die. Some people just work to die. And I'm sorry to put it like that, but some people just work to die. They get up every day, 6 o'clock, go put in their 8, 9, 10 hours at the job, you know, come home, do the whole thing. I mean, there are so many people that have worked 20 to 30 years that have never really loved because, you know, that's all it is. Not saying that work is a bad thing, but it's like they're working to die. They have nothing outside of work. They haven't found that love within themselves, you know, to find that passion to go after. So, you know, continue to say what I'm sorry, Yana. You know I get hyped up sometimes.
No, but I love where you're going with this. Because, like you said, some folks will never decide what they're going to do in life and finish achieving life because they're too busy working. I mean, I need you to work, but that's about all. I mean, you have to have something else going on for you.
Now, I don't need the people sending me the angry emails saying, Yonder Aries, you have no idea how my bills are stacked up. I'm not saying that. I know we need to work. I'm working 15 jobs. I know we need to work. I know that's something that needs to be done if you want to pay the bills and even to get to your happy space. You know, you need to do that. But, you know, like yourself, find that passion and go after something that you love. So, you know, if there is something that wrote your story, that your story is actually in a day and age where you're depressed, you're overcompensating about things, you just have issues going on within yourselves and you're just looking for a way out, find a happy passion. I mean, there's something out there for everyone. And dingling and tang-tang may not be it. I'm not saying find that as your passion, but, you know, just find something practical, constructive. And
it really is. There's so many more things to do to life than, like I said, besides using what's below your navel. I mean, there's so much more that we could do, and so many other things, so much positivity to do. I was talking to a group today. I want to help them with their 501, their 501c. They have some nonprofits going on, from charity walks to charity bike rides, a little bit of everything. I mean, get involved with something. Get something that will push passion, that will make you passionate about something.
This is The Truth Is with Yonder and Aries. Our dial-in number is 646-915-9923. Yonder, I want to tell you about one of my passions. You talk about the 50, you know I get the numbers wrong. Is it 501c, 503c? What is it called?
501c.
HYWKXYZ. Well, anyway, one of my passions is, and I would love for someone that's listening that may have a background in this, one of my overall passions is, like I said, I own 1 million businesses. I'm a billionaire. Yeah, I own 1 million businesses. But one thing that I want to do is really not a business, but more of a nonprofit organization. Is I have this passion within me where I would like to, you know, we hear about welfare work, welfare reform. I've had this dream for years. And when I say for years, it's a backstory to it, but it was before I had my daughter, over 11 years ago, where I would love to set up an organization that's like a welfare to work thing. There are so many people, I think, that are in the welfare system, stuck in the welfare system, because people have told them that they could not, Their self-esteem is so low from people telling them what they could not achieve, what they could not do, that I want to help show them that these people were wrong. I'm looking for some people to help me start this organization where we bring these men and women in. We help them get the training and jobs, like an internship, to help them get to where they need to be. And the jobs may not be, working in the corporate world, working for another company. I mean, helping them set up their own business. Whereas, most of the people that we know that are in, the system, they have a couple of kids. So if they were to go get a job, daycare would take up half of their earnings. I mean, I know that having one child, daycare will take up half of your earnings.
No, they can kill you. Daycare your whole earnings.
Yes. So, I mean, I would love to start something and get in a partnership, or maybe even someone that's in the system that has time to help, do the research to see what we need to do. I want to help you start your own business, because although they say the economy's down, the unemployment rate is sky high and stuff, the unemployment rate may be sky high, but guess what? They are basing that on the companies that are hiring and dismissing people. Let's talk about you starting your own business. I mean, and this President Obama administration that we have in effect there are many programs out there. There are many programs out there that can assist you to get to this goal. So, I don't want you to say, oh, money is the issue, I don't have money. No, we can do this without money. So anyone interested, please connect with me. My email address is ariesthehost@gmail.com, or you can call 240-621-0417. I want to help you. I mean, I want to help us. I ain't trying to help you. I'm trying to help us. I'm trying to help the country.
And I agree. That's a beautiful concept, Aries. I mean, really. But and folks don't understand that piece of it. Like I said, that's one of our passions of helping each other, helping people. That's a beautiful thing.
Them. And like you said, you know the background to the XYZ 3015023. What it's called? Yeah, That's 503C. Is that what it's called?
501C.
501 XYZ WXYJK. Yes, we want to help you. I mean, this is part of helping our brothers and sisters out, uplifting. I mean, Yonder is the author. If your passion is writing that book to put everything on paper, I'm putting him out there.
I do author workshops. I help with a little bit of everything from editing to just how to get published and printed and everything. I used to have my own. Actually, I still have my own printing company, but I just show you how to go through the process, man. I mean, and I'm cheap. I ain't going to say I'm cheap. No, I'm affordable. Let's put it that way.
But, yes, these are some of the things we can do so we can help, when we look at that woman. When I say, oh, she got something with her. So when someone looks at her and says she got something with her, it's not issues they're talking about. They're talking about she got something with her because she's loving herself. She got something with her because of the way she's walking. What else is there? I wanted to go into the unavailable Yonder.
Yeah, she got something with her because she unavailable.
I'm not going to put that in. That's another conversation, too.
We have to address that. Who's unavailable? What is unavailable?
We don't even have enough time to go into that conversation then. Unavailable, what that unavailable look is
and
about.
And the funny thing about unavailable is that you got so much on your mind, it ain't got to be even self-esteem issues. It's just you got stuff on your mind that you don't realize that
it could be
when someone looks at you, you're really unavailable.
No, I know. I disagree with you right there. I mean, it could be... I don't know. I'm not going to say it's being unavailable. I'm not going to say it's just stuff on your mind. It's just you may not be looking in that person's direction at that time.
Right. So you what?
I'm not going to call it unavailable. This is another conversation, and we're going to get deeper with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be one of our better ones.
And if you guys don't get the backlog of this, we had a discussion about dating. And I was talking to Yonder about setting up like the little dating forum for myself and for my other single sisters out there. And he was like, you guys all look unavailable. I'm like, unavailable? He was like, men don't approach you because you look unavailable. I'm like, oh, wow, seriously?
Yeah, you like you're biting my head off.
Seriously, no. But this has been an interesting conversation. I wish we had people that wanted to dial in and listen and join the conversation. But like you said, sometimes we get a little too deep, I guess, where, it's too much.
Like you said, this is really taboo. I mean, like I said, no one wants to talk about low self-esteem. No one wants to talk about promiscuity. I mean, being promiscuous, and just all of the things that go with where some folks end up and why they end up there. I mean, no one wants to ever say anything bad about their mother or father, even if they don't like them.
You don't know my story. I mean, you don't know that. Do you know I saw an old coworker today, and actually yonder, you and I was speaking about this individual this week. But I saw her and she was just glowing. I'm like, girl, you finished law school? She said yes. Yes, she did. But you would never know her story because she has this glow of positivity, with her because, she went through her issue. She's had her story, but she found her way out of it. Mm-hmm. And it can just change your life where she could have crawled up in a hole and just, turned herself away from the world and just got discouraged. But she decided to do opposite with that. And her story has turned, her story, it's a wonderful one. It's wonderful. So.
I mean, there's so much more. I had another friend who told me last week that a family member of theirs had committed suicide. And it was just like, oh, man. And we all think we got issues. But do we really got issues? I mean, there's nothing in this world that you need to leave right now for.
Yeah. Yeah, we all think we do, and, nothing. I mean, Yonda, we both know individual with this woman. She's in the doctor, it seems like every other week because she thinks she's dying or something, but she don't have no issues.
Mm-hmm.
No issues. When you look at other people, when you look at, my daughter, their school sent a form home not long ago saying that there was a student in the third grade class that passed away. I mean, come on.
Third grade, when you think about when we were younger, you had to be 80 to die.
Third grade, the child died of leukemia. Yep, from leukemia. I guess complications with it. So we never know. Like we said, although we think we got it bad, there's somebody out there that has it 10 times worse than what we think we have.
That is that is so crazy. I mean, really, you just think about. But just life as a whole. And you think about. But I want to say is good. Not to wrap this conversation up, but one of the things I want to just stress tonight is I'm glad to have. First of all, I'm glad to have a higher power. I believe in God, but I'm glad to actually have good family and good friends.
Right.
And
it's
really,
very
that's
hard
a whole
to
lot. Really. We take so much for granted, and that's why one of the biggest things is everybody will say, as after I finish talking to you or text you, I tell you I love you, because who knows when I'm ever see you again, if we're going to ever see each other again. But if I don't get it out now, when will we get it out?
Yes, and then when you said, friends and family, it's really hard nowadays because sometimes there are people that are out to get something from you, but when you find those people that want nothing from you but to enjoy you, you need to cherish and keep hold of those people. We really do. And, help uplift, talk, conversate with those people that are close to you, write a story together. Life.
And then, like I said, tell them you love them. Like I said, after you finish talking to somebody, hug them, tell them you love them. Like I said, you never know when you're going to see them again. You never know what's going to go on. You don't know what that's going to change.
Guys, we're going to listen to this show later. Ronnie, this sound, Yonda, sorry, I don't know where that came from. This sound like a love fest going on here. Kumbaya.
But you think about it, we need that sometimes.
Yes, we do.
And we need it more than we really did. You think about it. This country has been fighting each other, from blacks and whites to Hispanics to everybody fighting. When is somebody just going to say, you know what, let's stop tripping. You know what?
Just get over it. I had a coworker in a meeting recently who actually broke down in the meeting because of something a supervisor did to her 4 years ago and is still getting to her. I said, lady, you got to get over it. This is something because of the way the supervisor made her feel 4 years ago. Sometimes you just gotta. I laugh it off. I will be hot for that moment. Walk out, but you have to let it go. Let it go. Because that person is going through something. Don't let them bring that stuff down on you. You gotta let it go.
And like I said, we gotta love more. We gotta care more. We gotta love more. We gotta care more. We gotta talk more. We gotta express ourselves more. We gotta hug more. We have to just give.
People are scared to do that, but people are scared to do that. Because like I said, they feel like somebody wants something from them. People are really scared to do that.
We gotta smile more. I mean, really, what does a smile want to do to somebody? You see somebody smile, well, be the first to speak. Wave to people.
You really want people to go all out.
Somebody.
So tomorrow I'm gonna go walking down the street. I'm gonna say hi and smile at everybody. I'm gonna just walk up to people and hug them.
Well, open the door for somebody. You know, we bless you when they sneeze. I mean,
that's common courtesy.
Huh?
That's
just common courtesy. But we don't have those. Hold the elevator door for them. Hold the door behind you for them.
Yeah, we need to stop being wrapped up in ourselves. Like, that's what you're saying, too.
Push the elevator key. I mean, we see somebody get in the elevator. We push the button so it can go up.
Yeah, yes. Guys, I really appreciate all that have listened, all that dialed in and listened on the line with us. This is The Truth Is with Yonder and Aries. This show will be uploaded as all of our other shows. Again, we'd like to say that we have a cruise going on April the 12th to the 15th, leaving from Miami. It's a weekend cruise to the Bahamas. If you're interested in going, please dial 240-621-0417 to, put your deposit down on the cruise. Deposits are only $25, people. So contact TVF Travel. That website is www.tvftravel.com. Yonder, is there anything that you would like to say in closing remarks today?
I have a couple of books out. My website is www.whatidoistaboo.com, but I just want to leave a special note. Find a religion that you love and adore and get involved in it, and start loving people. That's what I want to say. And a closing note, not only do I love my audience, I love my co-host.
Oh, love you too, Yonder. Next week, tune in Thirsty Thursdays. You know who's back from the West Coast.
Yes, that'll be nice. But I feel that this is one of our better shows, one of our best shows, because the thing about what we did tonight is we just expressed where we stood in life, and people don't get a chance to ever see this.
And people
we're doing it in public.
Yes, but see the difference with Yonder, if you've ever met Yonder, is you can look at Yonder and tell that he's a good person. He's laughing, all of that. And he's one of those people where people migrate and attach to him, and it's funny. They just migrate and attach to him. So he's already living this way. Aries, on the other hand, I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to.
And she really is there. She just don't know it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say I'm trying to get there because I am there within, but I get so many comments from people saying, you just look so mean. No, I'm not a mean person. It's just, like you said, sometimes I may have things, going on in my mind. So if you see me, say hi. I'm going to try my best, though. Like I said, I'm making this commitment to actually reach out, say hi, give more hugs, and all that stuff a little more. But, we have to love one another enough. We have to trust each other more. We have to let go of the past stories. We have to let go of those past, the words on the pages from the past. We have to shred them up, burn them up, let them go, and start writing a new story. We need to start writing a new story because life is too short. Like we said, if we have those kids looking at us, they're looking at and taking in everything that we're saying and doing, and we want to leave a positive light because, if I'm a negative parent and I'm negative, I'm grooming my child to be negative, and that's something that we don't want to do. Single parents out there, single mothers, single fathers, we don't give it up to you enough. Single fathers, we appreciate you as well. So
I agree, and we just want to leave you in love and tell you we love you, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Yes, we love you guys. The truth is, Yonder and Aries. Have a good evening. Have a good week. Bye-bye.